Hey, my beautiful people, my wonderful people, a pleasant evening to you. Wonderful people. So, I have not said this line in a little while. In watching the news, I mean, I do watch the news every day, but I'm glad that I never had to say the line so often. But in watching the news, I saw something today that, leaves my mind topsy-turvy. It's I'm discombobulated. I'm perplexed, to be honest. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. And I'm not a political analyst. I'm not good with politics. I'm following it these days, and I'm trying to understand it. It would be good if I could get a book to understand the fundamentals, the rudiments of politics, so that I can be more informed and better informed and not speak from I try not to speak from opinion per se, unless I'm trying to deduce something that is said and said over a period of time, and I watch consistency. Then using the laws of induction or deduction would not be off. It would mean that I'm just trying to follow a general pattern. But I'd like to be extremely knowledgeable in things that I'm talking about. I don't like to just talk frivolously like that, and not use emotional intelligence. I want to be intelligently emotional. All right, I just said that word, or said that term. But I saw something today. Don Anderson's poll has been going, and he's doing an extensive poll. And it is quite interesting. The results seem a little bit different tonight. I don't remember the percentages, but you can research it. And I noticed it talked up like it went up all the way in the 40s. But the JLP would come out as the victor on the basis of these polling. So it said, I think the question was asked, who would manage the country better? Yes, the JLP actually edged the other party, maybe at least by 10% or a little bit more. I was shocked. I don't remember the figure. It's like, let us say, for example, the PNP was at 20%. The JLP would have been at 30-something percent. But I remember seeing something in the 20s and something in the 30s. Or thereabout, or 20s and 40s, something of the sort. As I said, the highest figure I remember seeing was 45.5%. So you understand where I'm coming with the percentages, people. You can go and research it so that you can get the actual figure. But it really doesn't matter, because he did 1,012 people. And even if whether it is in 40 versus 30% or 30 versus 20, I'm talking about the margin of difference in terms of the number of people. All right. Okay. So in terms of who is a better leader, funny enough, the current prime minister got it. The one that the PNP edged them, and I've always heard that for years, is that they say PNP is for poor people, while the JLP is for the rich, for the affluent. I've always heard that from I was young. That is one thing I remember hearing about politics, even when I wasn't interested in it. You would always hear people talk about it, that the PNP people are for the poor, the jail people are for the rich, and the affluent, and so on. Well, look at it this way. If there's a one horse can't run race, so both horses cannot be the same. So somebody probably would have to be for the poor, somebody would have to be for the rich. The only problem is that when you're ruling, everybody should be benefiting, both the rich and the poor, right? So it therefore tells a story to me that any card can play come the next election. I know some people are confident that the People's National Party will win, and some are confident that Jamaica Labour Party will win. And to be honest, if you really analyze the polls that Don Anderson has done, it tells a story that the pendulum can actually go either way. It can just go and stop, whether on the red or on the green. And let me tell you something, my beautiful Jamaican people. Wherever that pendulum stops, if it remains the same on green, we have to be very strident in holding them accountable. We cannot continue another almost 5 years on madness. We cannot continue on another 5 years on madness. They asked for, although both sides benefited from the 100%, 200%, 300%, we have to hold them accountable. It cannot be business as usual. If the People's National Party should come in, Lord have mercy, to whom much is given, much is required, because they came with their big guns and they said that this one is not doing the right thing, that they presented a fantastic model earlier in the year, not the recent one that they had, the one that they had earlier in the year or late last year. I think it was early up in the year. I remember that one because I had done a vlog on it, where the opposition leader stated that he will move people to millionaire status. I never forgot that particular meeting. I think that's what a Bush Banton came out on, not this recent one with Vibes Cartel, right? And some other wonderful things he spoke about to get people from poverty to, even if you don't get to wealth, but to some semblance of riches, understanding riches to a point. And he said that. So he would need to be held accountable. Because beautiful Jamaica, if we not go through hell and powder house now, our next thing not go through. Not go through in the little crevices and corners of hell. If we don't hold them accountable. Don't think it's the same human being running it. Same flawed people running it. Right? And we cannot, as a people, because what will happen is that a hated situation will eventually take place when people get fed up and them get dark and nothing matters. They don't care about their lives being here or not here. That's how human beings are. Our bodies can only take so much pressure, no more. It's like physical pain. If it goes above the threshold of that pain, your body will pass out automatically because you're not built that way. We're not immortal. Not until Jesus comes and those who are on his side will put off mortality, take on immortality. Those who are not on his side, it's going to be dog name your supper, dinner, breakfast and lunch, and the in-between snacks. So we have to be very strident and focused, and decisive and say we're not taking foolishness. That, either way, because I was, I said to myself, look at how I said, boy, the JLP should be smiling when they saw the polls today, because the polls have been beating, we have been against them in the last few weeks, because it had seemingly been in the favor of the People's National Party. But today when I saw, I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? The same people saying that, you wonder how to, it's like a dichotomy, it's a split, a black and white, a yin yang. First, he said the PNP, they're leading by 9%, 30 versus 39. And now the JLP, you're saying most of them saying that the JLP handles the country much better than the People's National Party. I suppose that is in light of the 18 to 19 years that the PNP has been in power, and you really have not seen an effectual change, transformation, financially, socially, spiritually, educationally, and mentally. I'm just calling all of those, but you have not really seen it socially and financially predominantly. You have not. People are poverty stricken, people are struggling, people are still without water, infrastructure is still bad. Look at the roads. The rain has highlighted the shoddy work done on the roads. It digs up as soon as they use a pro patch type material, it digs up back and it's worse potholes. It's like when you hear of people having cancer, when it comes back, they say it comes back with a vengeance, it comes back more aggressive. That's what happens when things are not done in order and done correctly, when there is no divine intervention. If you don't see God in our country, cannot run good. I don't care what people want to believe. That's just the reality. Without God, it's impossible for a country to survive and to strive and to do well. So whether you want to believe in him, yes or no, that's your prerogative. Not here to force anybody, but I'm just telling you reality because it is playing itself out. One of the things that I'll always talk about is how David, the Bible said, that is why he was considered a man after God's own heart. He was repentant, he was apologetic, he dealt with people fairly and justly. So he never have poor people around him like that are struggling and suffer. And dunce like bat and rat. Well, rat them not dunce and smart. Enough for maneuver. Tom and Jerry used to highlight that. Right? So he was that's why the Bible called him a man after God's own heart. The only character to be named that way. When he does wrong and confronted, he humbled himself. He was a king. He never go like him a big, how dare you come to me and tell me some of this and that. No, he humbled himself. God has sinned only against you, God. I'm so sorry. That's the kind of man. If we have leaders like that, level 5 leaders, according to John C. Maxwell, Jamaica would be a first world country. Had we had the level 5 leaders. Anyway, Let's see what this election brings. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a like.